Hi all, welcome to part 8, module 6, computer networks. So in this video again we will continue our discussion on TCP. So before moving on to this video, if you are directly coming here, so please ensure you watch the previous videos, right? And after that you can continue this, otherwise you may not get an idea about the TCP protocol. So we are continuing our discussion on the TCP, particularly the TCP connection establishment. Again, I given an overview of it in the previous video, so we will see that in detail. The connections are established in TCP by means of a process called three-way handshakes. So the connection establishment is happening with the three different communication we will see, and we call it as three-way handshake procedure. To establish a connection on side, typically the server side, which passively waits for an incoming connection from the other party by executing the listen, because it's listening for a connection from the client in that way, and accept. As soon as a connection request is coming from the other part, it is ready to accept primitive. In that order, either specifying the specific source or nobody in particular. If the server is ready to accept the connection request from anyone, then no need to mention a particular source, otherwise it can point on a given source from where I'm waiting for a request. So the other side, that is typically a client, or simply in a P2P communication the other peer, that executes a connect primitive specifying the IP address and the port number to which it wants to have a connection. So that is typically the port number of the process that is running at the server, which is waiting for this connector request. The maximum TCP segment TCP segment size it is willing to accept, and optionally some user data, example password, those things were also communicated. I mean, whenever that connect primit is communicated, in addition to the connector request, it will be containing the maximum TCP segment size. So these things were actually where in TCP header, hope you remember, in the option filtered TCP header, if you want you can note down all those things. The means the client can tell the server that this is a maximum segment size I can handle. So the server is supposed to send segments in such a way that at the server side the segmentation should happen in such a way that it will consider the maximum TCP segment size at the client side also. Then it will be more good. Otherwise, as soon as the information is reaching at the client network, we are forced to do fragmentation over it. So we can avoid it by communicating the maximum TCP segment size to the server, and maybe password used for authentication purpose, and also all those things will be communicated with the connector request, other than the IP address and port number of the server side process to which the client is trying to get the connection. So the connector primitive sends a TCP segment with the SYN bit on and ACK bit off, and waits for the response. So again, so that is why I am asking you to watch the previous video, otherwise you will not understand terminologies like what is SYN bit and ACK. Those things we discussed in our previous slide. So specifically with the connection, SYN stands for synchronization. So it's a special flag used in the TCP header that will be on with all the connection related communication. And for the very first packet, we are not expecting any acknowledgements. That is the reason the ACK flag is turned off. So when this segment arrives at the destination, the TCP entity that there at the destination side checks to see if there is a process that has done a listen on the port and given in the destination port field. So as soon as something is reaching at the server side, typically the other side, if it is a client server communication, the server is supposed to execute the listen process. Then only the server, that means the server is ready to accept the connection. So that the TCP entity will verify whether the port number in the client request and the port on which the server is waiting both are same. Then only it can hand over that request to that specific process on the server side, right? So that it will verify. And if it found that there is no server process that is waiting to that particular port at a particular time, in the sense the server is not willing to accept that particular request from the client, in that case it will send a it will reject the connection. The server side TCP entity will reject the connection request by sending a special reply packet with the RST bit 1. That means it is requesting for the client to have a restart. That is the meaning. For the time being, we are not able to accept the connection request from you. So if you want, you can try restarting the request. Now if some process is ready at the server side, is listening to a given port that is being requested by the client. For example, if it is a web server and the port number could be say port number 80 for any HTTP traffic. So somebody is requesting with the destination port number to be 80, there is a match, right? So that is given incoming TCP segment. So which process is listening to that particular port will be given the incoming TCP segment, and now it is up to the process. If still the process don't want, it can discard it. So it can either accept or reject the connection. If it is accepting the connection, it will be sending a reply message back, an acknowledgement message back, right? That is sent back. So that is a point we can say that the connection establishment happened. And not only that, so far from the client side, it send a request to the server with the SYN flag 1 and ACK flag 0, right? So this is the typical client and this is a server. And from the server side, if the TCP entity will ensure if the server is ready to accept the request from the client, if any process, if it is executed the listen routine and it is waiting for a port, if that is the case, the server will accept the request from the client and it will be giving a reply back, a kind of accept message. Again, in that also SYN will be 1, indicating that it is again a connection establishment packet, it's not a data transfer. And some kind of synchronization is happening in the sense the client will be communicating its parameters, its maximum segment size, a password, whatever it is, those things with the server, and server will also respond back with the its parameters. Other than one more thing I discussed in the option field or somewhere, that initial random sequence number, and we know what is why we have to randomly choose the initial value for the sequence number, and that I think hope you remember it. And in that case, what is that initial random sequence number, that also it can communicate as a parameter. So all those things will be communicated to each other and they are synchronized to each other. That could be the reason this flag is given the name SYN, stands for synchronize. So that is something used only during the connection establishment phase. Similarly, if client is okay, it will be giving a reply back. Something. So here also the ACK flag will be 1 because this reply is actually acknowledging the connection request from the client. That is why. Now to this reply, the client will be sending a reply back, right? And some acknowledgement back. And that time also acknowledgement flag will be 1, SYN also 1. So this is what we call as a three-way handshake. We will see this shortly. So the SYN segment will consume 1 byte of sequence number because the SYN request is to be acknowledged, right? So acknowledgement number is always taken to be the last sequence number plus 1. So sequence number is needed, then only we can properly give acknowledgement unambiguously to this. So that is something you can keep in mind. If the even that two hosts simultaneously attempt to establish, sometimes the client will be client server, or simply you can treat both of them as peers, say peer A and peer B. Both will try to establish connection with each other simultaneously. A will be sending a connect request to B and B will also send a connect request to A. So the same procedure will be executed, but it will not create two different connections because it is between the pair, same pair, right? A and B. Only a single connection will be established. And not two. So that is being highlighted. If the both of them simultaneously attempt to establish connection with each other, only one connection is established and not two, because the connections are identified by their endpoints. So that is the thing. So this is how you can something I already told you. Host 1 and host 2 are trying to get connection each other. The host 1 is sending the connection request with the SYN bit 1. So the flags were not highlighted here. Here SYN will be 1 and ACK will be 0. Other than that, it will be mentioning its sequence number and other connection related parameters. And host 2 now will give a reply back to host 1, where again that SYN will be 1 and ACK will be 1 because it's a kind of acknowledgement to this request. And here the sequence number of host 2. What is this? The why this X and Y? This is actually the initial random sequence number. So otherwise we can assume that both will be taking sequence number starting from 0, then there is no significance of communicating in each other. But by this so there is a purpose, something we already seen. So this is the initial random sequence number, right? So that will be communicated each other, and acknowledgement number also the last what is the sequence number here? There is just a single byte is consumed by the SYN request, right? So that is why this X plus 1, that will be the acknowledgement number. Here this sequence number is Y, so here the acknowledgement number will be Y plus 1. So this is also SYN is equal to 1, and here I am highlighting the flags which is not given here, and ACK equal to 1. So this communication, I mean three-way handshake, so this is what we call as three-way handshake, establishes a connection, and after that they can communicate each other by moving on to the data transfer phase. Once the connection is connection establishment means the resources are being reserved for this particular communication. The resources particularly means on the way this both the side will be identified by that socket number, and everybody on the way the routers everyone will remember some connection is established through me between these two, and some specific consideration will be given to them. So that is the meaning of connection establishment. Anyways, it is end to end, and if you look at the communication to the layer below it, in the network layer, it is connectionless. But all together, from the sender machine to the receiver machine, from the sender process to the receiver process, we have that connection establishment. But below that, from one hop to another, the communication is happening without establishing any connection. So that is the idea. Now here it shows the simultaneous connection establishment by both of them. So host 1 is sending a connection request, and at the same time host 2 is also sending a connection request to host 1. So both are sending each other, and they will be replied back with the subsequent communication. Here it is sequence number X. So its sequence number Y, anyways it is communicated 2 times, but still, and this X plus 1 will be made as a acknowledgement number. Similarly for this one, the sequence number is Y, so Y plus 1 will be made as acknowledgement number, and like that both will communicate each other, and they will establish a connection, but still a single connection only. Okay, one second. So that about the connection establishment part. Now let's see how the connection release is happening. Right? Yes. So regarding connection release, so although TCP is supporting full duplex communication, to understand how the connections are released, it is best to think of them as a pair of simplex connection, and released independently of its sibling. Say 1 second. Yes, we have the TCP connection release phase. So TCP is full duplex, but you can visualize it as a pair of simplex connection, something like this. So from A to B, suppose a connection is established, that means from A to B there is one communication path, and from B to A there is another communication path. So the difficulty with the connection release is from A it should send a request to B asking for a connection release, right? So A will send a request to B asking for a connection release, and typically we have a flag called FIN, finalized connection, that will be one for such a connection release. So these two flags, that is SYN and FIN, we are specifically using for connection establishment and finalize respectively. That is like for SYN bit is used only for the packets which are communicated as part of TCP connection establishment procedure, and similarly FIN bit, packets with the FIN flag is equal to 1 is only for, so that is the way they can easily identify whether it is a connection request message or a release message or a data transfer message. So for data transfer message they will not be using this SYN or FIN. So this FIN is particularly used for connection release. So FIN is equal to 1, so we will understand that A is requesting for a connection release, and that time if B is okay, so B will be sending an acknowledgement back, right? So at this point only the connection from A to B is released, because A requested and B said okay, but still we have a connection from B to A, and B can still send data to A. Now it is up to B whether it want to terminate connection. Typically when A is asking B to terminate connection, what B will do, B will also request A to terminate connection, say with another FIN packet. So A will also say yes, I am okay, ACK1, right? So with this 4 communication, first 2 FIN and ACK communication will ensure that if the connection from A to B is released, now from this one will ensure that the connection from B to A is released. So we can see that it is something like if the connection establishment is a 3-way handshake procedure, here it is a 4-way handshake. But in practical cases, mostly here it independently send a acknowledgement, and then it independently send a connection and a disconnection request. request, it can merge these two, right? So if it is merging these two, again it will be three-way handshake. So like that we can optimize things, because anyways I want to finalize connection. So along with that acknowledgement, I can inform the other party about my interest to finalize the connection. So if that is a way, things will be better. Yes. So when the fin is acknowledged, the direction is so what is here? So we can visualize it as a two simplest connection. To release a connection, either party can send a TCP segment with the fin bit 1. So like what I shown you, which means that it has no more data to transmit, right? I just want to finalize the communication. So the fin is acknowledged by the other party. That direction is shut down for new data. So only that direction, the other one is still there. So data may continue to flow indefinitely in the other direction, however. So when both the connections have been shut down, because both are shut down in the sense both have to communicate each other their request, the connection is released. And now you can see that there will be 4 TCP segments that are needed for the release in a typical way, because the fin, right, acknowledgement, again fin and acknowledgement. So the 4 TCP segments were needed, the one fin and one acknowledgement pair for each direction, totally 4. So however it is possible for the first ACK. So this is a fin request, and this is a ACK. Again this is a fin request from the other direction, and this is a ACK. So first ACK means this one. Because both are coming from if it is A, if it is B, both are coming from B to A, right? So we can merge these two. So that is the idea. The first ACK from the other side, and the second fin. So this is the first fin, this is the second fin from the other side, to be contained in the same segment. So both can be merged into a single segment, reducing the total number of count to be 3. So now instead of 4-way handshake, it will be a 3-way handshake. So like that. So if a response to a fin is not forthcoming within 2, so here in A send a fin request to B, but B is supposed to acknowledge back. So there are many erroneous situations. The fin request may be failed to reach B, or the acknowledgement may be lost, or due to some other reason B is not ready to close the connection. But anyways, A will wait for some max 2 times maximum packet lifetime. So packet lifetime, something I already told you, once you start sending an information into the network, after how long it will reside in the internet, because we will not allow any packet to simply roam in the internet. On the way we have the fields like TTL and all, and with that we will keep on decreasing TTL in every hop, and when TTL is reaching 0, the packet is supposed to reach at any other destination. So in that way TTL will be initialized, right? With an full perimeter value could be the initial value for TTL that we can estimate, and with that we will initialize. And in that case, as TTL is equal to 0 and the packet is not reaching the destination, means it is simply roaming in the network, maybe due to by following some incorrect path, and that time you can just discard it. So what is that the time? Typically in the current network with the current speed and all, it is around 180 second, or some 3 minutes. So that is a value which I read somewhere, but definitely the parameters were changing over time. This could change maybe to a smaller value. So as speed increases, this delay will definitely decrease. So 2 times of this, till that it will wait, because so the maximum packet lifetime for the fin to reach the other end, and the another maximum packet lifetime for the acknowledging packet to come back. So that is why we are taking 2 times of the maximum packet lifetime. So this is the extreme value. So till that I will wait. If I am not getting a reply, I will forcefully release the sender will forcefully release the connection. Similarly, the request from the other side. So both will be terminated in that way, and no more communication further. So this is so the other side will also eventually notice that nobody is responding from the other one, the typical server, and that will also go offline. I mean, it will also terminate the connection. So this is the procedure used in TCP for the connection release and connection establishment. So hope it is clear. And next part we will see a typical state diagram of all this process that will give you here we seen about the SYN packet and all. So those things are happening in the binary level on the background. At the operating system level, you could see some of the system calls like a connectors, accept, listen, those things. And whenever a particular system call is coming, what are all the things happening for the packets, what kind of packet is to be generated. In that way we will see a detailed state diagram. So that will make you clear about the process of connection establishment particularly, and release, right? So that we will see in the next part. Thanks for watching.